Hello everybody, welcome back. Today's video we are going to be doing a $20 budget at good old Walmart, so let's go. The only thing I'm going to be using in my pantry for this video is nothing. I'm going to use salt and pepper and water from my faucet. That is it. Everything else I'm buying from Walmart. I wanted to see how many meals I could come up with 20 bucks. We are not going to be using any coupons, no discounted items, no sale items, nothing. I'm going to go to Walmart and pay the price that is on the shelf. And I know prices vary from location to location, but I'm pretty sure, at least here in America, you're probably going to get prices kind of around the prices that you see that I'm getting. There might be a little bit of a difference, but I don't think it'll be too bad. Now, when I say meals, I'm talking about individual meals per person. Calling it a serving just doesn't seem right, so I'm calling it an individual meal. Because what could be 30 meals for my family could be 4 nights of dinner and a couple of lunches. It could be 6 nights of dinner for you. Your family could be smaller. Another thing I want you to remember, the meals you see Me Feed My Family, they're a pretty normal sized portion, but everybody's diets are completely different. Some people need more calories, some people need less calories. So what might feed my family 8 meals could feed your family 4 or 10. It's all relative. But this is what $20 fed my family. Let's go. Lord have mercy, it is so bright in here today. It snowed. I need cheese, but let's take a look at the price. We got $2.24 for the blocks. $2.24 for the already shredded, same amount. I'm getting this because I'm lazy, and it's the same price. Best of ground turkey. Super cheap. There we go, 13 ounces. Okay, 13 ounces for $2.98. John Morrell is still a better price. There's just only one here, and I would need 2. Black beans. Gotta get deep in there. $1.28. Do you want to do 6-inch for $2.12 or the medium for $1.98? I think I'm gonna go with the medium. Let's get some chili starter that's not dented. But this is already seasoned. Yes. It's so far away. I'm so short. Mama. That Great Value can salsa is so much cheaper than the jars of salsa they sell. So look to see if your Walmart has that because it goes good in recipes. It's just enough for most recipes. And it's a lot cheaper than buying the big jars. Should we do thick and creamy or regular?
Thick and creamy.
2 of those babies. Okay, let's get some frozen veg. Oh, found it already. Right here, seasoning blend, $1.38. It comes with everything. Oh, it's time for the fresh veg. Let's see what we can do. Broccolis. Boy howdy, these things are huge. Lord have mercy, so $1.14 a pound. It's gonna be really hard to cut into a big one, so I'll get smaller ones. Whew. All right. Green, red, they're out. So I gotta get this 50 cents, 58 cents more. But that's real life sometimes. So there we go.
Does that hurt your feelings?
It does hurt my feelings. 58 cents, that should not be a thing. They're just out of the cheap one. But that is real life. Sometimes the cheap stuff isn't fair, so we have to make do some way. We are back from Walmart. Let's take a look at what I got. You guys seen it already, but let's go through prices. $1.98 flour tortillas. 50 cents Jiffy corn muffin mix. $1 for a pound of pinto beans. 88 cents for chili starter. And look for things that already have seasonings in them. Like if you lack a seasoning cabinet in your house, you don't have a lot of seasoning, look for things that's already seasoned so you don't have to worry about it. We have some black beans, enchilada sauce. Y'all, I wanted the dollar great value, but they just didn't have it, and I had to work with what I had. That's real life. Sometimes real life, they're out of the cheap stuff. So $1.58 for that. This is a great salsa. It tastes so good. It was $1.18. It is a lot cheaper than those big jars when you're just needing something quick for a recipe. You guys seen the blocks for the same price as the bags, same amount too. I know a lot of people say that the blocks taste a lot better when you shred your own. But y'all, I honestly can't tell the difference myself. And if this is already shredded, it's going to help me out in the kitchen. So we got that for $2.24. Seasoning blend. It has celery, onion, red bell peppers, green bell peppers, parsley flakes in this for $1.38. Taco rice already seasoned. This was $1.24, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. Now, I could make my own taco rice with some rice and some seasonings I have, but I'm trying to be minimal on the seasonings that I use that I have in my house. So, this is going to work out just fine. We got 2 boxes of macaroni and cheese, the thick and creamy, 58 cents a piece. I was going to get 2 packets of the John Morrell smoked sausage. They were 7 ounces a piece and $1.34 each, which they would have been about 30-ish cents cheaper than this, but they only had 1, and I needed more than just 7 ounces of smoked sausage. So this was the next best thing. It's turkey sausage. It's better for you, no MSG, 62% less fat. And I love the Butterball smoked sausage. I think it tastes great. It's actually my favorite. And this was $2.98. Can't go wrong with that Festive ground turkey. Full of protein. It's cheap as heck. Can't tell a difference between the more expensive ground turkeys. I love it. 2 sweet potatoes. These came out to 1.44 of a pound. We got a head of broccoli. This came out to 83 cents. This, I forgot how much they were. I want to look at my receipt. $1.63 for both of these pretty large sweet potatoes. Our total for all of this was $21.42. Now, I'm happy with that. I'm golden with that, all right? You can save money and get this a little cheaper if you get the John Morrell smoked sausage, if they have it. And you can save a little money if you get the Great Value Enchilada Sauce. So how many meals do you think I can get out of this? Let's see. All right, let's make some black bean and rice enchiladas. I'm going to make that taco rice according to the package directions. So I just put 2 cups of water into this kettle along with all that taco rice in the package. I stirred it up and I let it come to a boil. Now, while this is doing its thing and I'm waiting for it to come to a boil, I'm going to go ahead and drain and rinse my black beans. I'm going to make sure that I get all that unnecessary juiciness off of them, and I'm just going to set them to the side until I need it. And when that rice has come to a boil, I'm going to turn it down to low, put the lid on it, and just let it sit there and get tender. Now, when that rice is tender, I'm just going to go and take my drained and rinsed black beans, and I'm going to pour it into the rice, and that is going to be our enchilada filling, and it's so tasty, and it smells good. It's so simple, yet it's delicious, y'all. I'm going to pull out the tortillas, and I am going to start filling the tortillas up with that bean and rice mix we just made. And I pulled out that cheddar cheese, and we're going to put a little bit of the cheese in with the bean and rice mix. Then I'm going to use most of that cheese, or at least half of it, to put on top of the enchiladas. Now, when you're rolling those up, you see that seam there? Put it down onto the pan or casserole dish that you're using. They won't pop open that way. I usually forget to do that, but I'm remembering it this time, so I'm proud. So anyways, I'm just going to continue to fill all 10 of these tortillas up with some cheese and the bean and rice mixture. And you're going to notice, yep, I got a different pan because all 10 of them wouldn't fit in that pan. Oh, my Lord of goodness, I'm a mess. Anyway, so I'm taking that enchilada sauce, putting it in a measuring cup along with 1 can of water, and I'm just going to mix it up. That is going to stretch your enchilada sauce, y'all, and it does not mess with the flavor at all. It's going to be super tasty anyways, even though you diluted it a little bit. So I'm just going to make sure I'm pouring this enchilada sauce all over each and every single one of them tortillas so it gets a little bit of that flavor in there, you know. Now, you're going to see that? My pan is so huge because this is the biggest one I had that would fit this without not being too big. But anyways, that's okay that it's ponding up around there. After I get this out of the oven, I'm just going to spoon it on top of all them enchiladas, so it's going to be a-okay. I had 1/3 of a bag of that cheese left, and I just put every single bit of that on top of the enchiladas so it could be all nice and pretty and cheesy, because cheese is glorious. We all know this. Anyways, I'm going to put this in the oven on 350 for about 15-20 minutes until it looks all pretty. And there she goes. I'm throwing her in the oven, and there. It's done. See that? I'm just spooning up all the enchilada sauce that's on the side, and I'm just putting it on top of them enchiladas. So, you know, it worked out pretty good, even though my pan is too huge for what I put in there. But I had to use it, y'all. I had to use it. My other pan wasn't big enough. Found some rando parsley in the fridge, and I was like, ooh, let's put some parsley on top of this, make it look a little pretty. It might not look pretty, it might look silly, but hey, I did it. I was trying for a nice aesthetic, you know. But anyways, I'm just going to cut into this and look at it. It's all filled with cheese, beans, and rice, and glorious awesomeness. So I got 1 enchilada. Kylan got 1 enchilada. That's all me and him could eat. Ryder, Braden, and Dusty each got 1.5 enchiladas. So this fed my family 8 meals. 8 meals total for my family. Of course, you can adjust this to fit your family. It might feed your family more or less. But for my family, this was 8 meals. That's including these leftovers here that were lunch the next day for 3 of us. Chili is an amazing way to stretch your dollar. I'm taking half of that ground turkey, and I'm going to take most of this seasoning blend. I'm going to leave like a 1/2 cup to 3/4 of a cup in the bag for something else. But I'm just going to cook this ground turkey along with that seasoning blend of veggies. This seasoning blend is where it's at when you have a tight budget. It is full of all of the great vegetables that give so much flavor to your food. Once your ground turkey is cooked all the way through and those veggies are tender, I'm going to add this whole can of chili starter to that, and I'm just going to stir it up just a little bit in my Instant Pot. Now, off camera, I cleaned my pinto beans and I picked through them. You got to pick through them to make sure there's no rocks, and you have to rinse them off at least 2 to 3 times to get off all of the dry dirt that sticks to the beans. Don't forget to pick your beans. Now I'm going to take that entire pound of cleaned and picked beans, and I'm going to pour it into the ground turkey mix with that chili starter. And I found a rogue bad bean. I missed one, but I picked it out, so we're good. I'm going to add about 8 cups of water to this. And I did put a couple pinches of salt into this. And I put a little bit of black pepper to taste into this. Remember, you can make this on the stovetop too. I'm just doing my Instant Pot because I love my Instant Pot. She's my bestie. And it's really quick to make some beans. It could take a couple hours on stovetop. Instant Pot, it takes 65 minutes. So I'm just going to give that a good stir, put the lid on, make sure the lid is set to sealing, and I'm going to pressure cook this for 65 minutes. When it's done, I'm going to do a quick release of the vent to let all that pressure out. And when that's done, I'm going to take it off, And I want to stir up those beans. And I like to have them a bit creamier. So what I'm going to do is set my Instant Pot to saute. And I'm going to saute for about 10 minutes just to get them a little bit creamier, a little bit thicker. To go along with this cornbread, I'm making that Jiffy corn muffin mix. Now, I am just using water to make this. I put a little bit extra water than normal. I have used a little bit of oil with water with this before when I didn't want to use the milk or the eggs. But this time, I just used a little bit of water plus extra. Now, I'm just going to bake this, and that is our mini muffins. I set this out family style, like buffet style on the stove. Everybody could just come and get their own chili, and they could get their own muffins. Just simple, easy. Everybody gets the amount that they want. And here's our chili, bowled up, looking good, looking fantabulous. For my family, this fed us 5 meals at dinner plus 5 meals for lunch the next day. So 10 meals total. That's for my family. You could get more or less for your family, but this is just what my family got out of this recipe. Kyle made his own bowl of chili today. All right, go ahead. Is it good? That's really, really nice chili. Colin cleared his bowl. Was it good? Mm-hmm. Let's make some Fiesta mac and cheese. This stuff is so good. So I'm going to take 2 boxes of that thick and creamy mac and cheese, and I'm just going to boil them noodles up. Look at the cute little heart skillet Dusty got me. I thought it was adorable. But anyways, we're going to take the other half of that ground turkey, and I'm going to cook it up with the rest of that seasoning blend. It's about a half a cup to 3/4 of a cup that's left of the seasoning blend. And I'm just going to brown up that ground turkey with those veg. Once that macaroni is cooked, I'm going to drain it, but I'm going to leave about 1 inch of the pasta water at the bottom because we're not using milk and butter for this. Minimal pantry items, remember? So I'm just going to use that to make our cheese sauce. So I'm dumping both packets of cheese sauce in here with a little bit of salt, and I'm just going to stir that up and let it simmer just a tad till it gets kind of thick, which didn't take long at all. When that turkey is cooked all the way through, all the liquid's gone, and those veggies are tender, I'm going to take that and pour it right into that macaroni and cheese that we made. And then I'm going to take that can of fire roasted tomato salsa and pour it in there. I thought I was going to save some of it and just use maybe 2/3 of the can, but I decided after I stirred it up that it needed all of it. So I just poured the whole entire can of salsa in there. And I put a little bit of salt and pepper in here. And that's it. That's all we had to do. And y'all, this smelled so dang good. If you have it in your budget to add some cheddar cheese, that would be great. Sour cream, maybe a little bit of pico on top. You could dress this up any way you want if you have it in your budget, and it would be fantastic. But it was absolutely delicious like this. This was a winner. This recipe in particular fed my family a total of 7 meals. So each of us got a plate just like this for dinner. And then there was enough for 2 bowls the next day for lunch. And I just heated that up on the stovetop with a little bit of extra water to help it get creamy again. And look at that. It's beautiful. And this was so tasty, y'all. Fiesta mac and cheese. How we feel?
That's really good. Oh, that's so good.
Thank you, baby. Okay, boo-boo. My bearded hipster, how is it? Ah! I'm sorry.
Good.
How do you like your new nickname?
It is what it is.
Y'all, he just woke up from a nap, so he's barely here. But, so, you like it?
Good.
This meal, I managed to actually get video of the leftovers before Ryder and Braden ate it down. Just heat it up with a little bit of extra water to help get it creamy, and it was perfect. Let's make a sheet pan meal, bestie. So I forgot to hit record when I was peeling my sweet taters. But these are both of the sweet potatoes peeled, and I diced them up in tiny little chunks, and I washed them really good. Now I'm going to dump these on the sheet pan, and I'm going to cover them with a little bit of salt and pepper, nothing else. And I'm going to put these in the oven on 400 degrees for about 10 minutes before I add the rest of the stuff, because I don't want the broccoli and the smoked sausage to get overcooked, and I need these to cook a little bit longer. While those sweet taters are in the oven doing their thing, I am just going to chop up this broccoli. And y'all, I'm even using the stem because we're on a budget. I'm not wasting that stem, so I'm just going to dice it up in little bitty chunks too. So make sure the broccoli is in bite-sized pieces. That's all you got to do. And now I'm going to dice up the smoked sausage. I'm doing them kind of catty-cornered. A little angle to them because it makes them look a little bit fancy, you know. So, yeah, I want to feel fancy. I don't know. Once those potatoes, sweet potatoes, have cooked for about 10 minutes, going to take it out of the oven. And we are just going to toss those broccoli pieces all over that sheet pan. Make sure to get a little bit... Can't even talk, y'all. Make sure to get a little bite of broccoli in every piece, unless you're Colin and you make mommy pick out the broccoli. But anyways, and I'm just going to cover the top with all that smoked sausage. Now, here's a little trick. If you don't have oil in your house and you're making something like this, root veggies, put some water in the bottom of the pan. Yes, I put about a half a cup of water in the bottom of the pan. And I am going to cover it with a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt. Then I'm going to take some aluminum foil and cover the sheet pan with it. And that is going to allow all of this to steam. That water is going to create a steam inside of that aluminum foil. And it's going to make everything tender and taste delicious. Now we're going to pop this in the oven for about 15 more minutes. And there she is. All done, beautiful, steamed, and it smells great. Look how pretty. Look at all those colors. Man, it's just beautiful. Everybody got a plate that looked like this except Colin. He made me pick out all his broccoli because he hates cooked broccoli. But this fed my family 5 meals. It may feed your family more or less. What's up, Ryder?
What's up, Mommy?
Tell me how you like the sheet pan meal.
Your sheet pan meal is delicious, and the carrots are really good. That's not carrots.
That's sweet potatoes. Well, they're sweet, kind of like carrots, so.
That's good.
I did it. 30 meals for $20. And they were pretty good portion sizes, and all the meals had veggies, had carbs, had proteins. The chili had tons of proteins. It was all super tasty and delicious. And it just goes to show that you can feed your family on very little budget if you need to. Remember, if you or anyone you know is having trouble finding food, if you're facing food insecurity, please do not be ashamed to ask for help. Please go to your local food banks, your churches, try to get help, because everybody deserves to have a full tummy when they lay down to go to bed. I love you guys. Remember, as always, be positive. Be kind. Be happy. Let others be happy. And I'll see you later, taters. Bye.